we gotta, for Isha, especially because I know he's literally only tuning in until we cover this.
An hour long of QMJHL hype up talk because they just started preseason. It's beautiful. There's been 0 fights.
I know, and it's really what the game is all about. Nope. Even more upsetting than that, he is very, very much on watch to harm himself because of Elias Pettersson. He told me if he, like, short of him being, no, his exact words, short of him being traded straight up for Jack Hughes, he might hurt himself. So,
okay. So this, I'm assuming, relates to the Merrick Friedman Sweden trip. And I'll be honest, I just saw occasional tweets. So I'll let you take the reins on this one. I'm not entirely. I saw that people were like, oh, shit. Pettersson, you might want to get the fuck out of there.
So it's weird, though, because, they just did the media tour out in Europe, all the prep for the games that are going to happen in Sweden, which I hate that they're like in the middle of the season, but it's good that they do this kind of stuff to expand the game, whatever. Nylander immediately said, like, yeah, I'm either playing for free or I'm paying to play with how many fucking tickets I have to give away. But whatever.
He's such a beauty. He's such a beauty. That guy's the best.
They had a long conversation with Nylander and then literally aired 2 contract questions with Pettersson, and it was like a little awkward. And then it literally kicks over to fucking Elliot. Yeah, so we asked him some more questions, didn't really get anything further. He wasn't comfortable talking about the contract. And then like him and Merrick just started like talking about it. And it's like, yeah, that's really fucking bad. That's really bad. And for them, it was a little bit of a back and forth on, like, is it about the money? Is it about winning? And it seems like he just cares about winning, and it doesn't seem like he trusts the org, which, shocker. Again, God bless Jim Rutherford. Like, he did great things for Pittsburgh to get those back-to-back cups. As soon as that was over, I don't know if, like, there was some kind of affliction, like Alzheimer's, something. I don't think he ever lost a trade in Pittsburgh. He lost damn near every free agent signing he ever did. And now it looks even worse over with the Canucks, especially with how he handled the Bruce Boudreau shit. Like, that was such a joke. And JT Miller said as much in an interview with, I think it was Cam and Strick podcast. Like, basically said the whole year was a shit show. And, like, Boudreau was the thing that he leaned in on. The one saving grace, though, for Isha is it sounds like a lot of the players have bought into Rick Tocchet, including Pettersson. So that is very helpful. But, yeah, it seems like it's more of a, can they figure out the roster? Can they be competitive? If so, I think he's down to stay. If not, I don't think the money matters. I think he's out. So it's kind of a this year or bust, which is tough in somehow the tables have turned. Shout out Michael Scott. Is the Pacific the best division? It's between them and the Atlantic.
I mean, I'd probably...
Vancouver is the 6th best team based on last year. And they're not a bad team either. But, like, you got Seattle and LA on the rise. You've got, like, Vegas will contend. Edmonton will contend. Calgary's going to be better. I don't know that they're necessarily a top-tier team, but, like, that's a team you got to deal with. And then you've got 2 bottom dwellers in the Ducks and the Sharks who, let's be real, like 3 years from now, both of them could be a real problem too. So, like, when are the Canucks going to be able to push through and be at all competitive in that division?
Right. Well, whenever they do, I would assume they are planning on Elias Pettersson being a massive part of that. And like you said, just some of the decisions they've made, it is legitimately mind-boggling. And fortunately, they've got a couple young players who are some of the best players in the league at their position. I think Thatcher Demko that last year was a complete. I mean, it was a shit show. He was injured, so I wouldn't. So either way, in theory, you've got the goalie, but I mean, some of, like you said, though, like the complete turmoil that they entered immediately after they made their little bubble playoff run was legitimately stunning. And it was just like one thing after another. Now, like you said, though, Rick Tocchet, people can say what they want about his actual coaching or whatever, but that's a guy that like every single player who's ever played for him has nothing bad to say. Like he's a beauty.
Most uncoachable player in the NHL who also just happens to be the biggest unit and fucking baller that plays every game consecutively, even when his wife, or I guess wasn't even wife at the time, is giving birth. They'll make sure he gets out there for one shift before taking off. Dude, Phil Kessel loved Rick Tocchet. Followed him to Arizona when Arizona was a dumpster fire. I mean, that doesn't really narrow down the years, but like
it does make a big difference because like you want to talk about like front office turmoil, whatever, like the chaos, anarchy. Who's in the room every day, like deciding what they're doing at practice, giving the overall message from the organization? It's the head coach. So I do think that, well, obviously that helps a lot for guys that do or don't want to stay. Now, at the same time, there are plenty of situations where there's a great coach or a very likable coach, cough, cough, Ruth Boudreau, that because the front office is so bad and it's so chaotic, the guy's like, I got to fuck if I want to win, especially like, I mean, Pettersson's what, 25? But no, he's actually younger. You know, he's young. He's way younger. 20. Oh no, he's only 24. Not way younger. Like, I don't
know, the way you reacted to 26 versus 27 earlier, like 25 is way younger.
Same thing. I mean, if you're Elias Pettersson, you're about to sign a big ticket after this. You just put up a season that, like, you put up numbers and stats and like underlying numbers. By far the best. Did he hit 100 points this year? Was he one of the guys? I think he was. Like, you're about to sign a big ticket. You have to know that there is some kind of stability in the organization.
Totally. And he actually even so this came from Friedman when he was no longer actually talking to Pettersson, but basically said that he looked at what like McDavid did this year, and you heard everyone like Draisaitl came out and said like, yeah, he just needs to be more selfish and like fucking shoot the puck, and look at what he did. And Pettersson is like eyeing that. He's like, I think I'm going to be more selfish this year. And you could be looking at him popping fucking 50.
I mean, he put up 39 goals and 102 points this year in Vancouver. So
and he could easily go up on that, especially if things are even just a little bit better and more consistent this season with what you're seeing from their lineup and their power play. Like, that could be lethal. He could be up here demanding a contract right there with Matthews.
If he looks at me, he's like, I want 12. I'm like, I'll give you 12. Next question. Want 12 and a half? I don't care. He's fucking unbelievable.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Like, what a fucking tire fire out in fucking Vancouver. But I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. It's
yeah.
I mean they're running that front office back, but you know, whatever. We'll see what happens. And I mean, at least the owner's a normal guy.